And that is huge for Cleveland. But I will ask the same sobering question. I was talking to someone just yesterday about it. I said, listen, they love LeBron James now. But when he tries to go and trade in this sports cachet, and perhaps he talks about an issue that people are not accustomed to hear him talk about, will his supporters still be there? Okay? They're calling him the king. That means on the court. If there's another example of, let's say, what happened to Tamir Rice, young boy was killed by a police officer on some BS, straight up. And will LeBron James be able to speak on those issues? I've nothing negative to say about Mr. LeBron James. He is taking, 1,500, 1,700 kids. He's going to track their progress, right, from like elementary school all the way through college. He's going to pay for their colleges. That's huge. That's huge. But, that's an example of LeBron's personal brand and his own personal power. My question will be, if LeBron James steps outside of the sports world, if he steps outside of his own personal brand and power to try to interact with some of the forces and some of the elements or some of the issues that concern his folks, right? Cleveland, this is for you. Will everybody support him on that? That's my question. What do you think? Crystal writes, good morning, Chop Shop. Good morning. Good morning, Jay. Dale writes, for me anyways, if I'm paying 30 stacks for VIP for Hillary. Omar writes, let's get Nathan in this VIP meet and greet. I'll kick it off with a contribution of $5. Hashtag Team NI. Thank you for that, Omar. Appreciate it. Kiki writes, before I give her or anyone your money, I would buy up land, etc. Right. She said, listen, if I had 30 G's, I'm buying some land, some property. I'm not giving it to the Hillary campaign. But that's what it takes, though. That's what it takes. I mean, you may not support Hillary financially. Okay, maybe you end up voting for her or maybe you vote for one of her challengers. But it takes that. It takes that. It really does. It's not just about voting. It's about supporting a candidate through the process who you believe is really going to support you. But I get it. Dale writes, I read that. Ed writes, will the Knicks or the Warriors make an impact next NBA season? And did you hear about the shooting at the Cavs parade? Shaking my head. I did not hear about the shooting at the Cavs parade. And, of course, the Warriors are going to make an impact next year. They'll be back. They will be back. Tiffany writes, I live in Madisonville, and there are some really nice homes here, too. I would have never known if I've never moved here because I've always heard bad things. That's right. What I found is that there are pockets in each and every neighborhood, okay, in most neighborhoods, street, or let's say you don't turn on the street. Let's say you turn down a cul-de-sac, and you look around like, what? And I never knew this was here. And that's just how this city is. And I don't know if it's always been that way or if, I don't know, I won't say that it's segregated, but it is. It's very interesting the way this city is made up. Tiffany writes, I miss John from Princeton, New Jersey. Speaking of which, I am having a new phone system, a broadcast level phone system installed into my studio. And hopefully we'll be able to take it to another level, probably either Monday or Tuesday. But I want to make sure I say that to you. I like to let people know about the process. And as I understand it, it will allow us the capability to talk on a regular basis and do some other things, of course, I really want to do with this platform. And if you're on Skype, I'm not sure how many people are on Skype. I do have a Skype number. And I will be giving that out, and we'll be able to process and take your phone calls for those who are on via Skype and also on Google Hangout. Now, if you're like, what the hell is Skype? I'm feeling sad for you. If you're like, I don't know what Google Hangout is. Well, Google Hangout is just like Skype, only it's called Google Hangout, basically. And there are a lot of people who are using these platforms, and I want to use these platforms. But I'll give you more details. But I'm with you, though. Do I miss John? I mean, I kind of miss him. He's just so damn hard-headed. John from Princeton, New Jersey was the hardest-headed, just thick-headed man I've ever talked to in my life. And even when he was dead wrong and made no sense, he just would not admit it. He would not admit it. And I get it. I can be that way as well. Disappointment in Elizabeth Warren with her endorsement might be on the VP shortlist, possibly Sherrod Brown too. She needs Ohio to win this election, and Trump is giving her comp here. I would show up at that rally with my Feel the Burn shirt on. Now, why would you do that? Now, listen, if I was a Bernie supporter hardcore like that, I might do the same thing. But what's that going to do, Brent? I mean, he's dropped out, okay. All right, I know you're feeling the burn on that, but it's over. It's over. Tracy writes, the question came up yesterday about LeBron's mom. Was she there? Was she where? I know she was at Game 7 because I saw her. I don't know if she was at the parade. I would imagine she would be at the parade. You don't want to miss out on something like that. I mean, that's a once-in-a-lifetime event. I mean, because it really is. Because after a 50 or 60-year drought or however long it's been, and again, they made it seem like that was a real big deal to Cleveland. Oh, they never had a sports championship in 50 years, not since Jim Brown, okay, who used to be our favorite Negro, but then he disappointed us. And not since he left. Okay, great, I get it. But how important is that really? Like I said, if it doesn't really impact the people that need to be impacted, then what's the impact? And again, I support it. I root. I mean, listen, we at the house, we invested a lot of time in the games. So when it was all over, my daughter and I were like hugging, and I had to stop and like, listen, this is just sports entertainment, right? They're like, we know, Daddy. And then we went back to it again because I let them know, it's fun. We invested some time in it, but they're not sending me no check. I'm not getting a ring. So, the level of my excitement is very much measured. My question will be, and I'll continue to hammer this, and at some point somebody's going to pick it up, I guess, in the mainstream press and run with it. That is, what is the impact of a championship if the people who need to be impacted don't get impacted? Is it going to bring more jobs? What kind of jobs? Or is it going to be quality jobs with benefits, like reasonable benefits, or is it going to be like basically, you're tied to a computer, you're tied to a chair all day? What exactly is it? What's going to be the impact? And I get it. Cleveland didn't have a championship for all this time. Well, I got folks in Cleveland, man, hardworking, good folks. And I'm wondering, like, the next time I go to Cleveland, I'll be up there, next month. Is it going to look different? Or are the blocks and blocks and blocks of, like, underdeveloped properties going to be developed now? I mean, what exactly does that mean? James writes, that damn Tarzan advertisement just had me spitting coffee everywhere. What the hell is Sam Jackson doing with Harambe? Shaking my head. That is funny as hell, James. That is hilarious, man. He said, what is Sam Jackson doing with Harambe? So you got Harambe jokes now? The irony is too thick not to address it. Yes, I have seen all of these just Tarzan trailers. It feels like it's psychological warfare. It really is on some levels. I've already hit my daughter to the whole Tarzan thing. And just like a good little girl, she is imitating her father. So when the Tarzan commercial comes on, she starts sneering at it, and I don't believe it could really go down like that. And I look at her and I think, that's my girl. Yeah. Critically thinking, who in the hell green-lighted a Tarzan movie? And it would have been one thing if you made Tarzan black, but you didn't make Tarzan black. And then here in the city of Cincinnati, after the tragic death of Harambe, R.I.P. Harambe, is there a place for gorillas in heaven? That's all I want to know. Because I don't want to be nowhere near it. Nowhere near it. I want to be with Tupac and Biggie. That's where I want to be in heaven. And then I saw Sam Jackson in the movie, and Sam Jackson is like in everything. Damn it. This man is in everything. I'm like, what the hell is Mace Windu doing with Tarzan and Harambe? James, you are hilarious for that, man. I love it. It's a Florida day right there. It's hilarious. Harambe. And then at some point, Harambe, well, since you started, James, I'm going to run with it. At some point, Harambe is like facing off with Tarzan. I just don't understand why people feel the need to consume this type of media. I've not seen it, but if it follows the usual plot line, somehow Tarzan is the Lord of the jungle and commands all. And on a continent of millions of African men, that's hard to take. It really is. Am I being overly sensitive when it comes to Tarzan? Now, let me be honest with you. When I was a kid on Saturdays, I used to watch Tarzan. Why? Because that was the only damn thing that was on. Tarzan. And I would watch it. But even as a kid, I'm like, it's on the TV, but... And yeah, I can admit it. I'm sure my brothers and I, we played Tarzan and Harambe. Am I going too far with this? Maybe I am. Tracy writes, the question came up yesterday about LeBron's mom. Was she there? I think I read that already. James is hilarious, man. That damn Tarzan. Are you going to take your kids? Is Tarzan, let me be honest with you. Would you take your child to go see the new Tarzan movie? Is it just mindless disengagement? It's all fun, Nate. As soon as I saw the trailer, which was like 3 months ago, I posted on Facebook. And there are people trying to shout me down. There you go, Nate, trying to inject race into another conversation. You're just trying to get people to look at your Facebook page and blah, 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 blah. I'm like, listen, bro. I would like people to look at my Facebook page. That's why I do a Facebook page. That's why I have it up. Yes, I'm in the media. When people hit me with that, I always think, yeah, I am trying to get your attention. However, I don't try to go for cheap thrills. And people, sociologists, black intellectuals, they have deconstructed and dissected the whole Tarzan motif and the white savior. That's essentially what it is. It's the white savior motif. Come on, man. It's the white guy swings it on a vine, saves everybody, saves the black man, woman, and child, and then grabs his woman and swings off into the moonlight. You know what I'm saying? It's like cultural colonization. That's what it comes down to. I don't care if he was raised by wolves, if he was raised by Harambe and friends. Just one last Harambe joke. Harambe. Wow. You know what? In December, we're going to look back like when everyone does and start looking back on the year that was, and we're going to remember Harambe, and I don't know how people are going to take that. Props to the family, and I hope they do well. And leave them damn folks alone, damn it. Leave them alone. Crystal writes, I met Caleb Brown yesterday, Nathan. Very nice guy. # old show callers. Yes. Caleb always said good things. Seems like a very intelligent brother. Very, very much so. You know what? I haven't spent a lot of time in Madisonville, so I don't know that neighborhood quite as well. But from what I'm being told, it's same circumstances. Like the media gives you a distorted viewpoint about certain neighborhoods because it seems like the negative gets over-reported about certain neighborhoods. Like I told you, for folks who've never for folks in the suburbs who consume local media, okay, your 5, 9, 12, 19, things like that. And again, there's great people that work at those stations. I'm not saying anything negative about them per se. However, if you took someone from the suburbs who had never, let's say someone who had never traveled, never been to Avondale. Okay, let's say you got somebody who consumes local media, but they spend all their life in the suburbs. You could take them to places in Avondale, and they wouldn't believe you're in Avondale. They couldn't believe it. What? This is Avondale? Looks like my street. And that's just how the city is. Very, very much like that. Good morning. Welcome back. Currently 8:04 a.m. in the Queen City. And as always, Nate Ivey with you. And it's my pleasure. Tracy writes, my 15-year-old saw the previews and was like, get out of here with that. Great. Excellent. That means you're raising your baby right, Tracy. Come on, man. This dude's going to, and why would somebody release a Tarzan movie right now? Why right now? I just don't get it. I mean, if you're an actor and they say,